Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back for another live stream on the channel. Tonight is Monday evening, which means one thing: Sky Bet League 2 Live. We're back with all the action across the fourth tier. Yes, a busy weekend. We had new managers in dugouts. We had goals galore. We had away day victories. We had new leaders at the top as well. We're starting to see something special build at a lot of football clubs as well. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay as I bring you my guest into studio. Let's bring him in. Hello, Mr. Jack Kershaw from JK Analysis, who covers a lot of League One and League Two content over on the X, as you call it nowadays.
Yes, I do. And how you doing, Ben?
Very well, mate. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was all right. Fleetwood keep a clean sheet. We go 2-0 up and, we maintain it. Happy days. And, yeah, it was a great day out.
One defeat in 7 for Fleetwood Town. Last year, Fleetwood had only just recorded their first victory of the season on this day with a 1-0 victory over Leyton Orient. I hope everyone in the chat is okay. If you could leave me a like and subscribe, that'd be massively appreciated. Hello to Chris. Hello to Sophie. Hello to Jack. Hello to Nat. Hope we're all well. Hello to the 16 people currently watching as well. We'll start off with Walsall, Jack. Now, Walsall doing really well in the division. They've currently got the highest expected goals in the division, have currently got the most goals in the division. 4 the other day wouldn't have harmed that. Third most shots on target in the division, only 2 teams more than them, one being their opponents on Saturday, Colchester United. Colchester have now not won in 7 at Walsall, and Walsall are 7 unbeaten against Colchester, home and away, winning 3, drawing 4. Walsall won the last 4 home matches, but have won 10 of the last 13, drawing 1, losing just twice. And in 10 of those games, they've scored over 2 goals. So that's carrying on from the back end of last year, where they were very strong last year at home. I think they won 12 games, at home, and they were very, very strong. But really, really good to see as well. For Colchester, they've been poor away from home for a long time now. When you look at it, 1 clean sheet in 19 away from home, and you look at it, it's not great from them. Won 1 of the last 12 away. That was away at Crawley 3-2 last season. They're having a lot of shots on target. This team should be doing a lot better than it is. But away at Walsall and away at Wimbledon, where they conceded 4 goals, 3 away at Morecambe and 1 away at Accrington. Do you think they'd be disappointed with the start? But for Walsall, a really, really convincing start on the front foot, and 9 different goal scorers for them this year. Yes, I know. Go on, carry on.
Colchester, they are underperforming, really. And I said about Payne and Bishop being sort of the creative players, but I watched the game against Walsall, and really they were both on the sideline a lot, Bishop and Payne, and I thought that their main threat going forward was actually Edwards on the left-hand side. He had the pace advantage of Barrett and had him on strings, really, for the first 20, 30 minutes. And I think with Bishop and Payne not being so involved in the game, it does affect Colchester in some way, and a lot of emphasis will go on their centre forwards to try and make something happen in Tovide and Taylor. I think Tovide is one to keep an eye out for sure. I think only 20 years old, and he's certainly got a few goal contributions this season of 5. And yeah, obviously they've had the most shots on target, but then they've had none against Walsall, or they had 1. But I think it's because Walsall are very good defensively. They've got really good players all around the pitch. I mean, you've got Taylor Allen stepping up from at left centre half, and then he's either overlapping Gordon or he's coming in field to support that sort of left-hand side, which can hurt teams a lot. And then Barrett don't need as much support because he can, breeze past a few plays like he did for the assist for Albert Adoma. And it's just clicking for Walsall. And It's going to be a really tough test tomorrow for us. They've got a great midfield. Sturt can sort of dictate the play, switching from left to right. Jellis and Earing, who came on, he got 2 goals. Them two really energetic, ball carriers and creative players. And it's just going really right for them. But I was obviously speaking to Simon today off Walsall Fan TV, and have they really played anyone that's going to be up there really at the end of the season? No. But then they have had the cup games of Leicester, who they took to pens, and Huddersfield. So they have had tests against opposition who were in higher divisions, and they have pulled through and gave a good account of themselves. So it's good in that regard. And listen, you can't really take any negatives away from second place, who have started the season really, really well.
Beat Bradford, which is a good win. Bradford, I've lost the last 3 away games, 2-1. Grimsby, Harrogate, and Walsall as well. But I agree with you in terms of Cheltenham, in terms of Saturday as well. Was Colchester a good side, but it's the performance. If you win that 1-0, you get your point a little bit more. But winning it 4, I thought Uncle Albert was brilliant. And Neil said there, thank you for the comment as well. And get your comments in as well. Keep the League 2 kind of hype along the way as well. A great win for them. Another great result for Gillingham. Now, Gillingham are a side that have been in transition, have been looking for goals, and defensively over the last few years have been all right at times. I think before this season, they only scored 86 in the last 2 years as well. And this is a team that have only just started to get reinforcements back and still got a lot of injuries out as well. They've now beat Barrow the last 2 times they've played them, 2-0 and 3-0, 2-0 at the weekend as well. Didn't win in the previous 7 to that, drew 3, lost 4. First time they beat Barrow back-to-back since 1968. You'd have only been about 6 years old then, Kershaw, wouldn't you, with that little beard over there?
Just about.
Gills unbeaten at home in the last 15 matches, winning 7, drawing 8, going back to last year, taking, in that time, 29 points, the longest run since 1999, where they went on a 17-game unbeaten run at Priestfield, just 2 games short of that. Barrow did win their last previous 2 away matches. Prior to that, only won 2 in 14 matches. 4 draws, 8 defeats before that as well. Clark with a great goal. Robbie McKenzie's great ball through. Now, I said to you off air, didn't I? It was a great ball through from McKenzie that slit the far side of Feely and Theo Vassell apart, and the way that Clark gets on it, he's 3rd goal of the season, 3-3 now for him. It's a great goal as well. He didn't get any in his first 40, now he's got 3 in his last 3 as well. So just shows you sometimes you have to wait a little bit. Look at Matty Virtue at the weekend as well. Mackenzie goals in back-to-back league home matches because he scored against Chesterfield as well. An assist for him as well. Gills again conceded the fewest amount of goals in the division. Only conceded 1 in the last 7. Conceded to Carlisle on the opening day as well. That was a great 4-1 victory for them. Second lowest possession, 6 clean sheets, so in 8 games that we mentioned as well. 3 clean sheets in a row, won 9 at home last year, already starting to go above that. Mark Bonner isn't just building a winning machine, but he's building a culture and fans are getting behind him. They might not have a lot of possession, but they're effective with it and they're so strong defensively.
Yeah, you've summed that up really well there. And Rob McKenzie, I think, has been one of the best players in the division. And that partnership with Amani Little in the midfield and that double pivot is really, really, it's just so strong. And even though Rob McKenzie might not be the lad who you'd think next to Little would be making the Hollywood balls forward, but he can do that. And, like you said, with the assist for Clark, it's a perfect ball in behind. And I won't call McKenzie a technician, but you've got a technician in Little next to him, then you've got McKenzie who can be tidy on the ball, but put a real shift in off the ball. And he's going to give Ethan Coleman a run for his money because he was a very good defensive midfielder last season. I think he just missed today because of suspension when he got red carded. I think it was a straight red against Gillingham. Not Gillingham, Chesterfield. But it'll be really hard for him to get back into the starting 11. And Jaden Clark, I think, is someone who's gone really under the radar. 2 goals, 1 assist last season in 1,200 minutes. 486 minutes for football this season. Already got 3 goals and 1 assist. So it's fair to say that even though he probably won't be first choice winger when Aaron Rowe comes back from injury. He's still putting in the shift and is such a good backup to have. And yeah, like I said, 6 out of 8 clean sheets for Gillingham, 4 out of 4 wins at home. I think they're probably away from maybe they've only scored 2 goals in 4 games at 10 at home. Maybe they just need that sort of right balance to be probably more confident themselves going forward away, because against us they didn't pose a threat going forward. Only chance they had really was when they dispossessed Elliot Bonds when we were trying to play out from the back. And Glenn Morris is stepping up. He only had 9 appearances last season in League Two, and he's already had 4 out of 5 clean sheets over Turner, who I think may be injured. So again, Mark Bonner's having a lot of choice all over the pitch, and the team's certainly giving him a headache for the starting 11. And I think that's when a side is doing really, really well. And it says volumes when you have Williams and Dak on the bench, because two creative players. Yeah, but still, when Dak and Williams, if you get either one of them
when he gets back in though, because he's not a shoo-in, is he, at all?
No, definitely. And they had Lapsley, who was transfer listed, but he's obviously stayed, and he's clearly putting a shift in for Mark Bonner to still keep him in that side. So, yeah, headaches all around the pitch for Mark Bonner, but like I said, it's a side. It's a sign of that a side's doing really, really well.
Harrogate Town, now, they must love playing teams in Yorkshire, because their only 2 home wins have come in the last 2 games against your Doncaster Rovers and Bradford City. And Harrogate have actually won 6 of the last 9 meetings against this opposition and scored 5 in the last 2. Now, 4 out of 5 times they played Bradford, they've won and scored 2 in every single game in that 4-game run as well. Harrogate, back-to-back wins now at home for them. We needed them to be better at home, because they did go away and get that great win away at Colchester like we saw. Bradford, no win away now in 3 matches. No win away in 3 away matches either. Lost 2-1 in all 3 of them to Grimsby, to Walsall, and now Harrogate as well. If be honest, if you had said that, they'd have been targeting 5 points minimum. They've got none. They've conceded first in all of those games as well, so it's a big problem. Andy Cook, since the 2022 season, 23 season, Jack, has scored 49 goals. Erling Haaland, 74 goals. Can you tell me a player who has scored more goals in the EFL in that time than Andy Cook?
Joel Perreault?
Nobody, because Andy Cook has scored the most goals. Only Erling Haaland on 74 has scored more in that time. Harrogate, good in the shape, 40% of the play, expected goals of just over a goal. Bradford limited to 1 shot on target again. And they look strong to Harrogate. They looked up for it. And it seems that when the pressure's off and they're playing a big team, that's where they come into their own. The Harrogate Town is when they're playing sides like themselves, like your Bromleys at home. We want to see a bit more from them. But Simon Weaver's done a great job there. I really like Ellis Taylor a lot. Who do you like in that team? Talk to me.
Ellis Taylor. But also James Daly I like a lot too.
Yeah. Absolutely. So talk to me about the game, because it's a great result for them. Bradford, again, slow starters, big expectation. If this side was Harrogate's, where did you put Bradford in the table? Can I ask you?
Top 7.
Can I ask you this, right? And be honest with me now. If you gave that Bradford City squad to Harrogate Town, where would you put Bradford City then? Where would you put Harrogate? You wouldn't put them in the top 7, would you?
No,
You're
probably
putting Bradford
50.
City in, and everyone's been sucked in. Everyone gets the same because the Bradford City, because the 16,000 home fans. They're a massive football club. If you gave that squad to Graham Alexander, it's just the case. I think that Bradford City are only up there because of the support base. They're only there because of the support base, because they're self-sustainable. The owners are putting any money in because of the season tickets that they sell. I don't think this Bradford City squad is unbelievable. Andy Cook's a good player. They've got great squad players, don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's a good team. They've got good players. They've got a good team. I don't think.
Yeah, obviously Andy Cook's like the starman, and sometimes it seems like Fanny Cook's not in the game, Bradford aren't in the game, and Alexander said they're 20 minutes in on really, and it sort of sets the game when you concede 2 inside the first sort of 20 minutes. It's poor, and especially in a derby where Bradford haven't got a good record against Harrogate to start with, you need an early start, but that's what Harrogate seem to do, really. 6 out of 8 that they've scored so far this season have been in the first half. And against Doncaster, they were hitting them on the counter-attack quickly. They were going forward after defending the box for the majority of the game and just causing problems. And like I said, the 2 players that I've been really impressed with, James Daly and Ellis Taylor, both of them are really the 2 players that are a right handful when they go forward. And Taylor obviously didn't get the assist for the second goal, but it was just the way that he ran out to the channel space, and then even when he was on the byline, he still got the ball back into Sims when he got helped by Cornelius, and then he found the space, and then Dooley was in the box, and then it's great that Daly and Taylor actually contributed together, combining for Taylor's 3rd goal, and then Daly gets another assist, and it's just thinking, like you said, are Harrogate just up for the occasion of a Yorkshire derby? Can they do that against sides that, they would maybe be more favourable against, like an Accrington or a Morecambe? We'll have to wait and see for them. But they defend the box really well. And against sides like MK Dons, Port Vale, Notts County, teams like them who want to get the ball into the box a lot, when you have good box defenders like that, you'll succeed in this division. And Simon Weaver, I think if it went wrong, you probably wouldn't get the sack really because of the father-son ownership, and there isn't as much pressure to succeed at Harrogate, as well as that they're only a small club too, and a mediocre start for them. I think a lot of people had them round about the 20th mark, and it's just about beating them teams around them and maybe trying to be more confident in themselves to have a bit more of the ball and take games to the opponent more.
Yeah, agree with you there. Doncaster Rovers. Now, they had 2 players sent off the other day, young Jack. Now, that was the first time. Here's a stat for you. Now, Jake's got me riled up, so I've gone really into on stats recently as well. That's the first time Doncaster have had 2 sending offs in a league match since 2009, when they played Scunthorpe United, when Quinton Fortuné and John Ostray got sent off against Scunthorpe in the Championship. So over 15 and a half years ago since then. That's Chesterfield's 3rd win in 20 EFL matches, going back 6 years ago when they were last in the Football League. 2nd win away from home this year as well, scoring 8 in that time, 5 away at Crewe. Doncaster first loss in 12 at home, won the previous 11, going back towards February time last year, where they lost 5-1 to Stockport County with a Harrison Biggins goal that day. First loss to Chesterfield for Doncaster in 9-1-4 and drew the previous 4. James Berry scored his 5th goal of the season, and Paddy Manning got his first from the penalty spot as well. Talk me through this one, because it was a great result for Chesterfield. They've been really hot 1 minute and not so great the next minute. Talk to me.
Chesterfield's problems probably at home. 1 win, 3 draws, and the draws have come against Salford, Swindon and Cheltenham. When you're Chesterfield, you've got to really win them games. And I think it also helped when Tom Naylor's gotten back into his main position. I saw the extended highlights, and normally as a defensive midfielder, you don't really get to see much, but it seemed like he was dropping into the back 3, helping the ball move from the defensive third to the final third. And it just seems like, when you have that pedigree of player in the midfield, it can automatically click. And that's without Oldacre next to him and Ollie Banks, who can step in there too. And James Berry, I can't believe, his return wasn't great last season. And I didn't watch any of Chesterfield last season, I've got to be honest. So I don't know how Paul Cook or what Paul Cook's done to get the best out of James Berry this season.
He's a great player, mate. He is a player that takes players on, and I watched him maybe a little bit at Macclesfield, because I think he started off at Hull and then had to drop down to come back up a little bit. And I like when players, he's still young. I think he's a Scouse lad as well. He's he will play in the Championship in the next few years. He genuinely is so good. So
He's
good.
got interest from Blackburn, I think. So
He was on the bench the other day
already.
as well. He had to come off the bench the other day.
Yeah, and like you said about running past players, that goal he scored in Doncaster sums it up in a nutshell, really. He just picks the ball up, then goes in field and drives it with confidence. And also, it's not bad when you have Will Grigg on the bench and then you have Paddy Madden stepping up. It's, probably the best two strikers. Obviously, they won't play in the same system, but to have a striker of either Grigg or Madden as a backup, it's great. It's better than Ironside and Sharp for me. And for onto Doncaster, yeah, Madden and Grigg, I think.
Do you think because Madden is still got maybe a bit more legs than Billy Sharp? I think, or are you going on the basis that Joe Ironside's had a poor start? Maybe he scored 20 last year.
Yeah, I just think Madden still scored 17 or something last year with only starting about 20 or
Madden.
Yeah, and he didn't start every game for Stockport. And then Will Grigg, he'll score at any level he plays at. We've seen it before, and he's played under Paul Cup before, so that manager and player man management really helps a lot. And for Doncaster, they're winless in 3. There's red card controversy because Molyneux puts the ball in the net after the linesman has flagged for offside. They've created very little, Doncaster. They obviously drew against MK and struggled a lot against Harrogate. Couldn't break them down at all. And I just think that Chesterfield were efficient when they had the ball. Only 6 shots, but 4 on target and 3 goals. And for Doncaster, slow start, but we saw the very, very slow start up until January last season. Look what happened. So it shouldn't be too worrying signs because the quality's there, the manager's there, and they've come back from a slow start before and got in the playoffs last season.
Absolutely. If you could please like the stream, that'd be massively appreciated. Let's see if we can push for 30 likes on this one. It'd be greatly appreciated by the time we finish. We're at 12 currently. And subscribe, get comments in as well. Get your thoughts and we will read them out. Hello, CJ. Hope you well. Doncaster have been flying. Surprise defeat that one, says Scott. Hello, Jeff. Hope you well. Long time no see. Good to see you in the chat. A good result for Chesterfield, says Ali. Yes, great result. But Chesterfield are a team, in my opinion, that we've not been able to see the best of yet. We've seen glimpses, but we've seen it for one game. We've not seen it over long periods. We need to see them better at home. They've not been bad at home. Too many 1-1 draws. I think they've played 3 at home, and in all 3, they've got a goal up and drawn the bloody game. So, you're looking at Swindon, Salford, and Cheltenham recently as well. Carlisle, 4 home matches they've won in 27 games now. Drawn 6, lost 17, lost back-to-back 3-2 games at home. Josh Vela back into the team, back with a yellow card. Lost to Tranmere, Fleetwood and Grimsby in their last 3 away matches as well. 4th lowest expected goals on the weekend after Mike Williamson comes out and talks about expected goals being slightly higher than their opponent. I think Grimsby's expected goals come from about 0.71. Scored 3 goals. Young goalkeeper as well comes into the team as well. I think he's only 17 as well. Had to push 16. Grimsby Town 3rd away win in 29 matches, drawing 11, losing 15 in that time. Only won twice away last year as well. One of those being at Salford away last year as well. So it just shows you that sometimes you can, find a way against clubs local to you, like they've done as well. Carlisle's issue hasn't been scoring. He scored in 7 of the last 8 matches as well. Hume put a great ball through for one of the goals as well. Great ball. And Carlisle's weaknesses seem to be the high line. The team play a ball long down the side and you get a willing runner like Fleetwood did with Graydon and Coughlin. Right, caused them all sort of problems on that big pitch as well. Barrington, really good goal for the first goal as well. Really like him. He's on loan from Brighton. Jake Eastwood getting injured. It looks like he's kind of split his knee open and it could be a tendon injury as well. But a great result for Grimsby. They've won 4 matches now. They obviously won 3 at home. They were good at home last year. And strong performance from them away at Carlisle.
Yeah, and like I said about the high line of Carlisle, you can't play in a high line when you've got Ben Barkley, is it, in Sam Lavelle, 2 of the slowest centre-halves in the division. And then you've got runners in behind. They're just not going to catch up to them. And Carlisle, it's obviously Williamson's second game in charge. He's going for the 3-4-2-1 with Sadie and Armstrong sort of in the pockets, and thought they could have done with more Armstrong feeding him in the channel, or even Josh Vela when Armstrong comes deep. Ben Barkley and is on the wide space, and then also Davies is there, but he's dragged the Grimsby wing back out, and then Vela or Armstrong has made that run to channel, and they didn't use it often enough for me. And I think it was a game of chess between them two, really. They were both trying to play out from the back, two footballing teams, but it just felt like both sides was just zonal marking, and then at times only went man-to-man in deeper areas, which I think that's why they didn't press fully enough when they were just coming out. And then when they got into the final third, it was more man-to-man, especially when Grimsby were defending on the right. Warren would go tight onto Jones, and then Rodgers would come up to Sadie, which is a massive physical difference. And any day you're putting Rodgers against Sadie, Rodgers will win his individual battles. And for Grimsby, I think when they're going to try and be more of a football team and not on the transition, they'll go and use that 5-3-2 and sometimes have Denver Hume inverting like he did for the goal. He carried the ball from a deeper area and obviously sent Barrington in behind. But in the final third, I saw that they could put Curry on the left and then sort of Hume in the half space, which I like the rotation a lot. And then when Grimsby are going to play the more transition game, they will be using probably the 4-1-4-1, which is a good flexibility that they have, Grimsby. And I like David Artell, and to get that first away win of the season when, like you said, they only won 2 away last season, it's convincing. And there is more to come with this Grimsby side, and I still think that they will maintain a sort of mid-table finish. I think the quality is there.
Absolutely. George By's on fire as we're going to go on to Port Vale. Yeah. And keep the likes coming, guys, as well. We're at 20 likes now. Thank you very much for that as well. And welcome to the 8 or so people that's just joined the stream as well. Swindon away at Port Vale. Now, Port Vale have won 3 of the last 5 meetings against Swindon Town. That's as many as their previous 17 prior to that. Now, previous to this game, Swindon won 6 out of 9 at Vale Park. A great little run for them as well. Port Vale's 3rd win at home in their last 16. However, back-to-back wins now for them at home, drawing 5, losing 8 in that time. Swindon just a single win in 11 matches, drawn the last 3 and 1 defeat away from home, only winning against Newport at home as well. Shamanga can't quite get going. He hasn't been able to get going for 3 years or so now. George by his first goal, only 1 goal in his previous 38 games prior to Saturday. And Swindon playing out from the back. And I think that's the 3rd goal in as many weeks that we've seen Bolton play out from the back. We've seen Huddersfield play out front back. We've seen Swindon play out front back, and it's not worked. Cover's obviously won the ball back, nicked it, and put it over to the overt goalkeeper. It's a great finish for him. It's first goal in professional football. Port Vale's expected goals just shy of 2 Saturday, should I say as well. Some tough games coming up for them, don't get me wrong, but a great start. They're starting to put a run together. Garrity hit the bar, James Stockley hit a bar as well. Good performance from Vale. They're starting to hit form. Good result away at Newport. Good result, at home, recently as well. They're getting the football forward to Tollard, who's a lot fitter now. He's a lot sharper. Worked on his speed over the summer. The balls go through to him, and he'll knock it on for the likes of Jaden Stockley. You've got someone he could hit. Port Vale are a direct side that will get balls into the box, but can play a little bit as well. I've got, Garrity, Chislett, Stockley, who can play at this level as well, who are better players than a lot of others. And they just didn't work under Tollard. It was kind of, they didn't have a plan B. Sometimes I think with Vale, the plan A is a lot better than a lot of other clubs. But when Darren Moore doesn't have a plan B, Port Vale don't win a lot of games, and that maybe cost them a lot last year as well. But they got over the line. Swindon aren't a good side. I'm worried for them under Mark Kennedy. A lot of hatred towards him at the weekend as well. A lot of fans show the frustration. Look, they have a lot of possession. They're 11th base for possession, but few expected goals, Fourth, fourth viewers expected goal 6.4. I think Salford, Tranmere are below them in that as well, who drew 0-0 the other day and are poor going forward as well. They don't really have any options up there, do they, Swindon?
No, with Shimanga, Butterworth, Harry Smith, I think he's a really good player, but I've probably still suspend, I think, because he started drinning, and then they've got Glatzel on the bench, and yeah, I think Harry Smith is probably their best forward. And like I said about Mark Kennedy, is he a Lee Johnson 2.0? Because Freckleton tries to play out from the back and then obviously gets dispossessed. They concede. He comes out and says that he's 100% starting tomorrow. And then after Sabawale cuts inside against Notts County and gives the ball away, Notts County score. He then comes out in his interview and said if Sabawale has better decision making, he'd be a championship player. And it's like, he's covering up for these players who are making mistakes and then, bigging them up. And clearly you can't big the players up if they haven't got that good decision making and they aren't making the right moves at the right time. And yeah, Swindon fans have the right to be disappointed, especially with sort of the pedigree of players he signed. Gavin Kilkenny in the midfield, obviously. Will Wright is now their top goal scorer, scoring from a free kick. And, they have Tranmere, Harrogate and Cheltenham next. If you're Swindon fans, you've got to look at that and think that's 9 points. So Mark Kennedy has got to be in a lot of trouble. I think minimum they can get is 7. If there's anything less than that, then, he could be in a bit of bother. And with Port Vale, like you said, get balls in the box and they will concede. Stockley wins 20 duels against Swindon, and obviously George Byers
lost that many, did he?
He had 18 touches, so he had less touches than Stockley won duels.
I know. That's the whole team, though.
Yeah, they have a few good players, Swindon, like I said, and even Costrell I like, and I think their wing back King, he just missed because I think one of his relatives passed away. With Port Vale, pump the ball into the box and you'll have Stockley, you'll have Talage, you'll have people fighting for it. Then they have got the quality in the final third and they're unbeaten in 4. They've got Colchester, Notts County, MK next. Tough fixtures, so it's good to get a bit of a run going before they go into them fixtures. And I think, like I said about Darren Moore, his plan A is good, but then his plan B is bad. When he starts with the 4-2-3-1, then he results in the 5-4-1. But when he starts with the 5-4-1, the plan A is bad. Then when he goes to 4-2-3-1, his plan B is good. So he can't get the plan A and plan B good at separate times. It has to be one or the other at the same time. And yeah, Swindon, Mark Kennedy have been a
5s.
Pardon?
No tactic, just 5s. I've never, in all my life, been impressed with Mark Kennedy. Lincoln City, I would say, are one of the top 10 best well-run clubs in the country. And you're looking at the likes of Brighton, Palace in the Premier League. Look at them in the EFL. I don't think that there's many better than Lincoln in League One and League Two, especially when you look at it. Yes, other clubs might chuck more money at it, but sustainability. Lincoln lost, I think, 2.6 million quid, something like that last year. That's pence compared to others as well at this level as well. But they gave Mark Kennedy a 4-year deal for a manager.
Can I just say?
That's my line. Can I just say it?
Jake Tong might be watching this, so don't get him all hyped up. Don't.
No, he agrees. He agrees with me. They gave Skubal. That's what they do, Lincoln, to be fair. They give 4-year. I think they gave JJ McKeon a 4-year contract. They give 4-year contracts out. Yeah. That's how they get young players in. And, Ethan Arahan next. Mr. Chairman, please. Mr. Clive Nate, please. And bring back Matty Virtue while you're at it, while she's asking. We're ready to go on to the next game, or have you got another point?
No, I haven't got another point. Just want Jake to keep quiet.
Yeah, don't we all, mate? I do very much like Port Vale. I can't wait for my trip to Vale Park. Special place that, and when things go well at Vale, things really you really know about it. But when it doesn't go well, do you know about it? They're a passionate support base.
100%.
Yeah, I really got nothing but good words to say. And I'm like that with most clubs. There's a few clubs that I won't ask me on. But there's a lot of clubs I've got respect for. Port Vale are well up there, especially at this level. Newport County, so bipolar. LWWW, LLLW. Now, my issue with Newport is yes to beat Doncaster 3-1, yes to beat Accrington 3-1, yes to beat Morecambe 1-0. Yes, they've won this one. And my issue was I don't think they really played anyone of good nature. I thought Doncaster were poor on the day. The two sides, Morecambe and Accrington, are currently in the bottom two. And then this one as well. It was the first time I thought, right, good performance. But they scored with both shots on target again. 3 wins and 4 at home is good. They need to do that. Newport unbeaten in 5 against Crewe. Newport, lost 12 of the previous 15 to that. Here's a stat for you. Now, Tottenham Hotspur broke a record where they went 29 games without a draw. Newport are on 27 in that time. Now, they've won 12, lost 15. Now, they won a few, then they went on that 9-game streak where they lost, then won 3 on the bounce, and lost 3 on the bounce, now have won. I wonder if they can get over that 29-game record. I don't know if that's a Premier League record, but 27 games without a draw. Crewe first defeat in 6. Evans got his first goal for the football club. Baker gets his second goal for the football club for Newport as well. Crewe, we mentioned that, yes, he won 4 in a row. They played Harrogate, they played Morecambe, they played Accrington. In that time, they played Bromley away from home as well. Tough test now. Gillingham away. Oh, don't worry. It gets easier. You've got Doncaster as well while you're at it as well, coming up as well. So a tough test. Good win for Yardham as well. Look, everyone wrote them off. 4 wins from 4 wins from 8, sorry. No matter how you played, it was a good start for them.
Yeah, definitely. And Nelson Jarb, obviously, he's had his doubts. And I saw him on the touchline when, I think when it was full time. He's a really, really passionate bloke, and I can see why Newport fans are getting behind him, even if they will go on a bad run, because he cares about the football club coming over from a foreign country. He's worked in England before and in Wales with Swansea Academy, I think. And at the end of the day, he's got a young squad. He's got loans coming in, 19, 20-year-olds. And then, it will take time. A bit like Fleetwood. An experienced manager and a young squad, it will take time eventually. And it was a great goal by Evans. I think it was carried through from Antwi on the left, and then he pulled it across to Evans, and it was a great finish from a centre half. And then also Baker scores another centre half, and you're just thinking maybe Baker Richardson or Camworth, they need to contribute more to Newport. And Crewe, they had good momentum coming into this game. Games that you thought, with Crewe based off last season, they should win. And obviously the difficult parts they had before, they needed a reaction. And obviously they would have wanted to make it 5 in a row, but they've still got some quality players there. Lancaster, Tracy, Hemmings can hold the ball up well. Omar Bogle, when you get the right man management, he'll produce some good things. And Dimitri is very, very good at the back. And I think he's probably one of my favourite centre-halves in the league. And he's next to 2 young lads, so he'll help with their growth. And Newport, there's still improvements, though. I think they're still weak out of possession, especially the midfield and the front line gets bypassed too easily, and they leave too many gaps, which I said last time. But they got good players on the transition, and I think Jardim's passion will get them through. And I hope he does succeed, and because I haven't bottom. So when Kershaw puts you bottom, you need to prove him wrong.
There you are. That is the most Nigel Farage thing I think you've ever said. It was a little, when Kershaw says it, you need to prove him wrong. Like, bloody hell, vote reform. Bloody hell, Kershaw. Christ.
Out of context, Kershaw.
Yeah, Santos. Cheltenham 0, Fleetwood 2. Go on the Cods. Great result. Fleetwood back-to-back away wins. Now, I asked you this. I gave you a little bit of time to kind of think about this. Have you got me an answer? When was the last time Fleetwood Town recorded back-to-back victories, and who was it against?
I want to go 2023.
close. I had it down as 2022-2023 season. I had it down as winning away at Peterborough and winning away at Burton Albion. So when Harvey McAdams scored, I thought him and Sean Rooney were fantastic that day and really impressed me in that midfield. Cheltenham, second defeat at home, and they look like they're getting new owners. Now, on Sunday evening, the board kind of write to the owners about certain things, and they cut off from the Supporters Trust, the Robbins Trust, I think it is there. It's a football club that have been on the decline, and I basically said something on the lines of, they're a football club being around like a 1960s football club. In 2024, they've got a new press room there, which looks basically like something you do isolation in, and you wouldn't even want to do a detention. It's that bad. It's that poor. They're not moving with the times. 18 new players, new manager. The fans, the players, I don't even think like. Michael Flynn just talks about his love for Walsall, like Josh said the other day, his love for other football clubs, and it's like he doesn't want to be there. He's there because nobody else wants him. He's not there like a Charlie Adams there to, grateful for the opportunity. He loves coming into training every day, loves the opportunity. You feel like he just loves getting out the house, away from the missus, away from the kids, coming to work, talking to people about football, learning, getting, in better himself, improving others. And he feels like, he doesn't want to leave the training ground because he's having such a good time at work. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like they were 12 months ago, where I think it was 361 days ago that we went there and won 2-0 on a Tuesday night from the day on Saturday. And they've not improved since Darryl Clark came in, gave them a little bit of an emphasis, but they haven't done anything since, and they've been poor. Fleetwood only won one of their previous 10 away games. Who's now won back-to-back away games away at Carlisle and Cheltenham. Leyton Orient was that win. Drawing 4, losing 5 before that they beat Bristol Rovers away. Matty Virtue, it's his first brace in the EFL. He played 134 matches before the weekend, only scoring 10. Well, he's up to 12 now. Fleetwood's 7th best defence, possession 19, but rising because they had the lowest at one point as well. 3 clean sheets, first away clean sheet, 9th highest expected goals, 10th in the league. Good start on the Charlie Adam. Belief is growing. Maybe this club will do something special this year.
Yeah, the only thing holding us back is probably the squad depth. That's why we need, 8 centre-halves, which I told you about, and you didn't take any notice to. But anyway...
Shut up! Right, no, I'm not having that, right. I had a debate with this man at the start of the season, and I went, right, we've got 6 centre-halves, which were Medley, Wiredu, Bolton, Potter, Holgate. Who was the other one?
Hughes,
Caden Hughes. There you are. Thank you. Good player. He'll come on this year. And I went, right, my starting 3 will be Medley on the left, Bolton in the middle, Wiredu on the right. That'd be mine. And then you've got Holgate, Hughes, and Potter, who I think would loan out. That's what I said to you. You were a little bit more of the, Potter can play a part. I thought, well, we still need one more minimum. I said that. And I said, I think we need another really good one, like a Bolton or a Medley standard. I would have gone for that straight away. And then I don't mind Holgate being just behind that. Holgate really came in and did well. Medley comes in, 4th game, probably our best player, gets injured his Achilles. Holgate does something as well, and he was just getting better. He looks a really assured defender. Great block at Notts County away. Really good. Well done, Harrison.
I hope he's watching.
Definitely did shout at me the other day. So that's a little story. I saw Harrison Holgate the other day and he went, I made a block at Notts County away. Didn't mention it. If Brendan Wiredu mentions that, Christ, there'll be montages. You wouldn't shut up about it. I went, all right, calm down. I think we're getting a little bit angry. You've got a point, yeah. But, yeah, we do need 2 more centre-halves. But, yeah, like I said, carry on.
Yeah, it is looking promising for us because, Monday night should have got that 3 points. And it was definitely disappointing that we obviously didn't even keep a clean sheet, to be honest. I thought Harrington commanded his box well, and it was a bit disappointing for him. And, we bounced back well. We got a clean sheet.
Well done, I was wrong.
Yes, it was in 2023.
Yeah,
I was thinking different times though. Yeah, so we bounce back well. We get a clean sheet, 2-0 up. As people say, we don't stuff it up. And Matty Virtue, a rotational player, comes in, gets the braces. Great for his confidence because he said after the game that he's probably not been as happy with his game time, and Charlie Adam knows that. But when he's got his chance, he thrives. And I've said that for the first goal, he didn't need to be in that position. He could have thought Graydon and Coughlin were good enough to, square it and put it in the back of the net. But he was arriving at the edge of the box and weren't the prettiest of finishes, but he was there. Then the second goal, Phil Foden-esque on the half turn, then a great finish for Matty Virtue. And yeah, it's just a feel-good factor, especially with a front two of Graydon and Coughlin. I mean, I can't speak highly enough about them to...
After that, really... I not think it's a bit thin.
Yeah, because obviously Danny May, everyone knows he's hit and miss.
Danny Mayer is one of the best but most infuriating footballers to ever watch. So Danny May is a player that I am shouting every game, move it, pass it. Oh, still got it. Pass. Shoot. But he's so elegant, and it's like giving a football when you're like 19 to a game against an under sevens game, and you just got the ball and you just glide around and go, "Oh, we'll take it off." He's so much better than a lot of players technically that he's a delight to watch.
And I think a couple of things stopping us. I think are on the wing. We're obviously discussing it a bit on the coach back, and the defending channel balls we're not good at, especially against Morecambe when they brought Dackers on, when they got Slew on, when they got Hope on. We suffered there. Dackers was probably Morecambe's best player and only played 45 minutes. He give us a right good go on our left-hand side. And then we haven't got the height and physical advantage, really. And then when we're going forward, there's no really overlapping runs because, it's more... We're getting to the final third, but we haven't got sort of a player who starts in the wide position to actually, have Johnson or Hunt or Phoenix overlapping, and it's just a bit frustrating at times where we may have to rely on underlapping runs, and sometimes it don't work because it's not as flexible and rotational. But I'm just being a bit too picky there. Out of the first 7 games, we've lost 1. We weren't really up for it against Wimbledon because it took a lot out of us energy-wise. Rotherham, the cup in the week, and we've got a game in hand over some clubs. We could go as high as 5th if we obviously match results or even better some results when we play in. Like I said, it's just a feel-good factor, and it's a young manager, it's a young squad. Mistakes will happen. It's just about bouncing back and correcting them mistakes, and hopefully reflecting back and thinking we've improved a lot.
Quickly going through the last 3 games now. Morecambe 1, Notts County 1. Notts County unbeaten in this fixture in the last 7 games, 5-0 in the last meeting. Morecambe 13 games winless, joint level with Cambridge United, drawing 4, losing 9. However, 3 draws of which have come in the last 3 games. Scored 6 in that time have Morecambe, so a lot better. Lee Angle, first goal. Not sure how much he knew about it, but finds a way until Matty Platt scored the equaliser. Harrogate sent off. Shots faced 8. That's the most he faced since last season as well. So a really good start. Derek Adams came out and said, I didn't feel like any club had really gone and pressed them and really gone at Notts County this year. And you look at it, Arkington, Fleetwood, Grimsby kind of all backed off and said, look, you're going to have a lot of the ball. We'll sit in. We don't want you to pick us off. So a really good performance from Morecambe. Positive signs, good point each.
Yeah, and, it's the experience of Derek Adams to do that. Recognise that, we want to go man-to-man against Notts County. They're coming to our ground. We need to put it at them. And I think, like I said about Fleetwood, Grimsby and Accrington, they didn't go to Notts County because it's at Meadow Lane. And when we tried to go at them, they just split us apart too easy. So it's one of them where you need to get that out of possession structure right, or you're just going to get hurt. And obviously Derek Adams, like I said, has got the experience to do that. And it's good to see Angol, Hope both making the step up from the National League back to the EFL, and them two are both off the mark. I think Angol might be injured, though, unfortunately for him, coming off in the 34th minute. And Morecambe, they troubled us in the second half on Monday night. They got balls in the box and they were great in the channels, and they had 8 out of 10 shots on target against Notts County. So they're a threat going forward, and 3 draws in a row. Could they get a point against Bradford, who aren't in the best of form? Probably. And then Accrington on this Saturday is their most important fixture probably so far this season, to get 3 points in a derby and really lift off from there.
Derek Adams with, you know Jack Kershaw. Derek Adams, can you get the curse back on Bradford City? If you know, you know. There you are.
Grip.
Yeah, you know. Bromley won. MK. Oh, Jody Jones also out for a sustained period of time as well. That's a big loss. And there's a question that's coming from Happy as Larry. They aren't as happy as Larry with that injury news. They've lost 30 goals from that player, and hopefully fit as soon as possible. Scott Lindsay back in charge, back in the dugout with a new team this weekend as well. So 1.61 expected goals at the weekend as well. Really good run from Tommy Lee. Great ball across, and Joe Tomlinson puts it away as well. Good player, like him a lot as well. Bromley 6 without a win now, 2 draws, 4 defeats. Conceded 12 in that time. Kept 2 clean sheets at the start. Scored 6 in the last 12 as well. MK Dons have lost, twice in the last kind of. MK Dons have only lost twice in the last 14 away games in London. Both of those have been to Wimbledon, Jack. But overall, a good point for Bromley, who, again, need that win to get back on track. Michael Cheek's 5th goal of the season with an expected goals of 3.20. He's a goal scorer at any level. He could have a field day next week.
Yeah, Cheek's phenomenal, and we have to watch out for him. And, not just him, Whiteley too, who just plays off him. He's a chance creator. And then you've got Danny Imre, completed 5 dribbles in the match, the most in the match, and he's great on the right. So Bromley have a lot of threats. And Scott Lindsay's first game at MK, sticking with a 3-4-2-1. He's got Liam Kelly, who obviously we know can play as a 6, plays an 8, plays a 10. He can play anywhere across the midfield and still give a reasonable output levels. I think 10 assists last season. And then obviously you've got Lawrence Maguire, who's just as good stepping out from the back, like we saw when he had him under Lindsay last season. And, they had 62% possession. They had 14 shots, improving from Williamson, where MK sometimes have 8 shots. He wouldn't trouble the opposition enough going forward. And it was 74% pass, actually, the lowest MK have had this season. So, maybe they don't want... obviously they want to have as much possession, but maybe they're trying to be more ambitious when they're going forward and not like Williamson just keeping it around the back for fun. Actually going forward, if you make a mistake with the pass or you're inaccurate, that's fine. If you're going forward, that's good.
Yeah, agree with you there. Tranmere 0, Salford 0. I refuse to spend any longer than 2.5 minutes on this, because what an awful... A combined goal of 1.1, I think. McElhenney had a good chance. Tranmere had 1 good chance in the game. Tranmere lost once in 9 against Salford. Salford have failed to score in 4 of the 5 visits to Renton Park, and the time they did, they won 4-3. Conor Jennings, 18 goal comps last year, nowhere to be seen this year. Amari Patrick is the only player to score for Tranmere this year. One thing I'll say about Tranmere, when you play that style of football, I said about Charlotte yesterday, you've got to win games of football. It is a bleak way to play football. I couldn't watch it. It's boring. It's to try not to lose. It's Scott Brown-esque. It's plan A. You've got to be strong defensively. Try and win on the counter-attack. And everyone will love it when they win 1-0. Oh, Nigel, our gaffer, hurrah. You start losing games where you don't win and you go 3 games without a goal. Things will get a little bit antsy. You look at it, goals scored 24th to 23rd. For both teams, conceded 7th to 6th. That isn't the issue. Expected goals 24th to 23rd. Shots on target 18th to 23rd. It's really poor from both football clubs. Carl Robinson's sides aren't normally like this. Normally, they'll win 3-1 or 3-2. And I'm not convinced on both sides, really.
No, and Salford have the quality, and especially when they're bringing players up from a high level. But does that give Robinson a bigger problem? I know, like I said with Bonner earlier, that it's good to have a headache all over the pitch. But when you're having that high profile of players, is it good in Robinson's sense to have a headache all over the pitch? Because personally, I don't think he has. He knows his best starting 11 and knows what side to put out week in, week out. He's consistently changing because he has got the quality there, like a Delican. I think Kawasi's a good little loan coming from Blackpool. They've got Fauna from Derby. Ashley I like in the midfield too. There's players I like in Stefan Negri, who on his day probably is, one of the best centre-halves in this division, and getting him on loan will not just do him good for the development of Negri, but really bolster Salford at the back. And Tranmere, one quote I saw a Tranmere fan say that sums it up really. It's just fitness levels being great, football quality standard being absolutely shocking. And you've got Jennings, Norris, Saunders, and another few strikers. You're getting maximum 5 goals out of them. You're not having a threat. You're only having Amari Patrick on the right or on the left having a threat. And then someone said they've got 2 wingers, Hawks and Morris, that can chip in with goals. But from what I saw last season, Hawks played 12 games and then they both play on the same side. So you can't get them in the same team. And they didn't replace Actor at the start of the season. And I just don't know how people bought into the hype of them in the top half.
I think because he went on a good run last year and they started with 3 clean sheets where they should have lost the games, really. And, not lost the game, but weren't great. And then they were always going to start conceding and they were never going to start scoring. Let's be honest about it. And I like Tranmere as a football club. I think they are the people's club, especially on where they are. I feel sorry for them a little bit that they're branded like this, but they're not a good watch at all.
No, definitely not. And, like I said, we're not replacing a live wire like Apter. How are you supposed to get Prenton Park going?
Exactly. And, Friday night football is massive for them, isn't it? It normally generates more people in for them. So, yeah. Jack, before we kind of come to the last people things, tell people where they can go and find your stuff.
JK Analysis 7, just down below there. On Twitter, I'll do all things EFL, hopefully being more consistent with my content and trying to hit 5,000 followers by the end of the year. That'll be really appreciated from me if I can get to that. And I'll have more analysis pieces, may sometimes branching out to the non-league, hopefully coming up. And just excited to get content out. Go over to JK Analysis 7. Please give me a follow and hopefully I can get that 5K goal by the end of the year.
I went with, at the start of the year, MK Dons, Doncaster Rovers, Port Vale, and I'm sticking
my
with
top
that.
3.
That's my bottom 2 were Newport and Aki, and I'm going to go for that again now. I'm going to go for Aki now, though. Sorry, I'm going to go for Newport and Aki still. No, Morecambe and Aki.
Oh. I'm going to go. I think Gillingham come 3rd.
Okay.
I think
Gillingham win the playoffs for me.
Do I think Doncaster will get it? No. I think Port Vale comes. No, I don't. I think Doncaster comes 2nd, Gillingham come 3rd, and MK come 1st. Port Vale go into the playoffs. And then bottom 2, Newport get relegated, and I don't quite think Salford. Could Tranmere be in a bit of bother? I'll go Tranmere.
Okay. Yes, I am, Dan. I will be there. He's not. He's watching at home. Fake fan.
Sky Sports Plus. Woohoo.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching tonight's stream. An hour on Sky Bet League 2. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please give us a like. Please subscribe on your way out. Jack, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, no worries. Up the cods. Hopefully we beat Walsall tomorrow.
Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I will see you later. Over and out from me. Up the League Two, up the Cods.